A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm here, me, Adebayo. Well, exciting times now that we have the World Cup matches played, football feast going on. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo got on the mark today, scored 2 goals for Portugal. Of course, he joins the race for the Golden Boot, and of course, the race to become the highest goal scorer at the World Cup, a title, currently, should I call it a title? A feat currently achieved by Lionel Messi. All right, so let me just quickly fill you in on some of the things we're going to be talking about. Of course, a meeting held today between the National Sports Commission, Nigerian Football Federation, and the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll be talking about the highlights of that meeting, and we will tell you everything that is happening in and around the FIFA World Cup, the 2026 edition, that is. All right, let me quickly bring in guests on the show tonight. First, let me bring in Bada Johnson. He joins us all the way from New York. Bada, greetings to you. Thanks for being with us on the show tonight.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Nigerians. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Still savoring every moment of the World Cup. The excitement levels are sky high. The games keep delivering. The big characters keep delivering. The last of them, as you quite rightly said, Cristiano Ronaldo, who's got a brace. The Ghana-England game just kicked off. We don't know what drama, what levels of excitement that delivers, but this World Cup is gone down in history as the one with the highest number of goals scored in the group phase in terms of the average goal ratio per game. And it's reflective of just the positive attacking quality that we've seen on display, on show for most teams. There's hardly been any sterile game. Most of the games have had goals. We've had great attacking play on show. So it's the kind of fun and entertainment and excitement that the football fans want to see, and it's just fitting that it's happening. It's all going down at the biggest stage of all, the FIFA World Cup.
All right. We're getting more from Bada as the show progresses. Let's also bring on to the show Mario Leo, all the way from Germany, joins us on the show tonight. Mario, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show.
Yeah, very good evening to Nigeria, and it's a great pleasure to be on the show. Bada, you're absolutely spot on with your initial analysis. Fantastic World Cup. It's a great pleasure to talk through these topics tonight, and congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo, not only for the brace, but being the first footballer ever to score in 6 consecutive World Cups. An absolute legend, an absolute fantastic achievement. So it's great to kind of discuss this tonight on Channel Sports in Nigeria.
All right, before we go into the World Cup, indulge me. Let's talk about Nigeria a little. Nigeria is not at the World Cup. Charity begins at home. So they say, let's talk about some of the key decisions taken today at the meeting, of course, between the National Sports Commission, Nigerian Football Federation, and the Nigerian Premier Football League. I talked about it earlier. Of course, an agreement has been reached on the renewal of the contract of Super Eagles coach Eric Schell, with the new deal expected to run until 2030. Of course, the Nigerian Football Federation will assume responsibility for the salaries of Eric Schell's assistants. Eric Schell will also oversee Nigeria's under-23 national team, with the composition of his technical crew to be announced by the NFF. The Super Eagles coach is expected to earn $100,000 under the new contract, subject to official confirmation. The Nigerian Football Federation has identified qualification for the next African Cup of Nations, the AFCON, as a key short-term objective. The Federation's long-term strategic focus is now on securing qualification for the 2030 FIFA World Cup. NPFL champions could receive a minimum prize money of ₦1 billion, making a significant boost for domestic football development. These are the key decisions from that meeting. Let's allow you listen to some takeaways. So we move on the show, and so we move on the show and talk about the World Cup. Let's take a breather and, of course, go into the segment where we talk about the World Cup. All right, so let's move on and talk about the World Cup, and of course, we have our guests with us to talk about the World Cup. Bada, before we talk about the results for today and the results maybe from yesterday's game, and maybe probably you're able to get a sneak peek from what is going on between Ghana and England, I just want to get your thoughts on the set of matches you've seen yesterday and of course today.
I think my biggest disappointment yesterday was the Senegal-Norway game. I thought Senegal had I will say the making of a team that could go as far as Morocco did the last time, based on how consistent they've been over the years since they won the first AFCON, keeping the same crop of players, bringing other young talent through over the years, winning cadet championships on the African continent, doing well in friendly games on the eve of the World Cup. We saw how well they did against England. So I had high hopes for Senegal going into this particular competition. But unfortunately, the problem with administration in African football chose the wrong place to rear its ugly head, with reports coming from their camp around agitations for payment of bonuses and allowances, and you can see the distraction apparently in the way they've been playing. They're so disjointed yesterday. Their goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, who is as experienced as they come, was so sloppy on occasions. On one occasion, they almost gifted Erling Haaland a goal. That arguably their most experienced defender and maybe player after Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, was guilty for one of the goals that the Norwegians scored against them. So it was just a comedy of errors, speaking to the lack of concentration, the lack of focus brought about by the off-field incidences surrounding the Senegalese team. I was really, really pained yesterday because they looked a shadow of the Senegalese team that, at least on the field of play, won the last AFCON before it was awarded in retrospect to the Moroccans for the Senegalese teams walking off the pitch because of some controversial decisions. But for me, that was the highlight, though a negative one, because I did believe that the Senegalese, and mathematically they're not out. If they win their last game and win it very well and other results go in their favor, they may still qualify, but having lost 3-1 to France and having lost 3-2 yesterday to the Norwegians, I think that the Senegalese are as good as gone. And even if by some stroke of luck they remain in the competition, the off-field distractions are just too much for anyone to expect anything significantly better from them going forward. But how do you talk about yesterday without talking about Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer in history as far as I'm concerned? Scored another 2 goals in the game against Austria yesterday, makes it look easy. All 5 goals scored so far by Argentina in the competition have been scored by Lionel Messi. But it's not just the goals, it's the way he just springs to life. When the ball gets to him, people get on the edge of their seats in anticipation of something special happening. And more often than not, something special does happen. It's either he's playing an amazing pass to play through a teammate put them one-on-one with the goalkeeper like he did a couple of times again yesterday, or he's going on an amazing run at that age. I think it's tomorrow he turns 39, and that man just looks like, he keeps getting better. We run out of, superlatives and adjectives to qualify him. Went into the history books yesterday, smashed the all-time goal scoring record at the tournament. Now sitting on 18, Mbappe sitting on 16, tied with Miroslav Klose, and there's no telling how far Messi can stretch that record, because their next game is against Jordan. No disrespect to Jordan, but if you look at the way Uzbekistan played against Portugal today, when people say there are no Minos in world football, you laugh, because there's still a chasm in class between an Argentina, reigning world champions, one of the most consistent team in world football over the last 4 years, and a team like Jordan. So you expect that the Argentines will create a plethora of chances, and if Messi gets his goal-scoring boots on like he typically does, he probably gets another hat-trick. So for me, yesterday, Argentina and Messi's heroics was the dominant thing, but the disappointment of Senegal was the second biggest thing for me.
All right, Bala, thanks for that. Well, my colleague Austin is suited and ready now. Austin, greetings to you. Thanks for making it through.
What greetings to you, man. Of course, everyone watching us on the show tonight. I'm monitoring the game between England and Ghana. The Three Lions bossing that one so well. Ghana giving them so much respect. 12 minutes already played and still goalless. But let's see if the Ghanaians can find a way to turn it around. It's the FIFA World Cup 2026 and loads of talking points. Bada has done a good job with those introductions. Let me go to Mario. Mario, it seems if Messi does one thing, Cristiano Ronaldo, it sends some signal to him to say, you need to get the world talking about you too. But so far, this World Cup, who's got you talking? Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, or Kylian Mbappe?
Well, not to forget Erling Haaland, and not to forget a couple of others. So, Dennis Undorf, from a German perspective, the super sub coming on and needing, was it 39 minutes for 3 goals, so scoring every 30 minutes? No, I mean, you're absolutely right, Austin, and it's great to have you back as well on the show and leading the discussion. Cristiano Ronaldo, when he scored the first goal, he was shouting into the camera, "I'm back." Obviously, he noticed that there is, let's say, a competition off the pitch through the media, through the discussion, through social media, where people expect him to be kind of really performing. And like I said, he's a true legend. I'm so happy for him that he scored the brace, because obviously it will be his last World Cup. And I mean, unless they bring him on with a wheelchair in 2030 in the home country when he kind of will be 44 years of age, let's see what's going to happen. But talking points and things, what I like is obviously, how are the referees handling these superstars? Because obviously we discussed it already last week. I mean, should Messi score 5 goals or should have seen a red card after 25 minutes in the first game? And what referee would give a Lionel Messi a red card? And what does it take as a foul to do it? So these are interesting things. And yesterday, I mean, Bada summarized the match of Argentina and Lionel Messi. But again, yesterday was again a controversy for me. For me, it was a big foul on McAllister, on Xaver Schlager, before they kind of went across the half and scored the first goal, and inconsistency on refereeing when you look at the match. So I think that's something FIFA need to really address when we come into the knockout stage. I think the preliminary group stages were okay. I think the teams who we want to proceed will go into the knockout stage, and there I would kind of just in one thing or one statement kind of slightly disagree about our statement, because I think that we will see Senegal going through, because as much as I know, their last match is facing Iraq, and if they score 3 goals against Iraq, they got an equal goal difference, and because so many third place teams will go into the next round, I think Senegal can go through. As I mentioned last week, I think I was ambitious to say that 5 African teams will come into the knockout stage. I will remain with this bet. And I think, like I said, I think that we've seen great games where we've seen heroic performances. I think Cote d'Ivoire deserved a point against Germany with a tremendous display. And therefore, I think match day 3 will be the decisive one, where we then finally see which group matches are kind of happening in the first round of knockout stage.
Absolutely, Mario. Talking points. Officiating will somehow lead it, But I mean, what a tournament it has been so far. The big guys that got us talking all through the league season continued at this World Cup. Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, goals, beautiful goals we've been seeing. Just run through the Tuesday results.
Yeah, I'll do that. And of course, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, the Golden Boots race is going to be very, very interesting in this competition. I'll just go across in a few seconds to take a look at the results as soon as we have it ready. Okay, let me just quickly run through that. And let's talk about fixtures first, because that's what we have. Panama will take on Croatia in a few hours from now. Of course, that game is in Group L, the group that has England. Okay, let's go to the result. Let's start with Monday. New Zealand losing to the Pharaohs of Egypt. And of course, Argentina, so much talked about it, defeating Austria 2-0. France hammered Iraq 3-0. That's in Group I. Also in Group I, Norway, led by Erling Haaland, defeated Africa's representative Senegal 3-2. Jordan lost to Algeria a goal to 2. Of course, the game that just ended a few less than 2 hours ago, Portugal, of course, defeated Uzbekistan. Very interesting, but one-sided game in that one. Portugal hitting Uzbekistan. Let's quickly take a look at the fixtures. That's where we were initially in Group C. Morocco will take on Haiti. And of course, Scotland will take on Brazil. Games will be played at the same time because it's the last group game. And you have Panama taking on Croatia, Colombia taking on DR Congo, 3 a.m. Nigerian time. In Group B, we have Switzerland taking on Canada, Bosnia taking on Qatar. Of course, in Group B is also the third group game. All right, let's pause and go on a break. When we return from that break, we'll still be talking about the FIFA World Cup. Our guests are still with us to be giving us their perspectives on everything happening at the FIFA World Cup. But just to let our viewers know that on the DSTV platform, when we return from the break, you will be on to Inside the Niger Delta with Mahmoud Akuga. But on all our other platforms, you will still be with us, where we will be talking sports on Sports Tonight. Let's go on that break. We'll come back for more Sports Tonight. All right, a lot of ground for us to cover, talking about matches played at this World Cup. Also let me quickly go to you, and of course you can go in any direction you want to go. I don't think I've seen a World Cup in recent times that after Game 1, Game 2, we're going to talk about the Golden Boot race, and we're seeing players showing up and letting us know that it's not just going to be about Messi and Ronaldo, because Erling Haaland is in with a shout. I told some friends today that Kylian Mbappe might just end this tournament becoming the player with the most goals scored at the World Cup. People are talking about Lionel Messi, and Ronaldo has done himself some good today, adding 2 goals. Is up there as well, and sooner or later they will make Miroslav Klose look like, just dust off his record.
I was just looking at Kylian Mbappe, he's so underrated. He's just 27. He's already a World Cup winner. He looks like a player who's already, carrying France on his shoulder. Makes me put him in the ranks of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. When Cristiano Ronaldo were doing everything they were doing, Zlatan was doing his, but because of the magic of Cristiano and Messi, the world was, looking at him. But Kylian is just He's just doing his thing, and I totally agree with you. He might just steal the show. Don't forget, he was also there at the last World Cup, doing all he could for us to talk about France. But I love the fact that FIFA promised us a football festival, and these guys are saying, football festival you will get. You know, I was saying goals, you know, that we love talking about. But Haaland coming to the party also just made it look so, you know, so beautiful for us to talk about. Let's listen to someone who knows Haaland so well, giving him his flowers, saying, look, this guy is good, showing some respect.
I think Norwegian fans has been fabulous, and today I'm very happy for them that we gave them such a good game in rainy conditions. It's been a long day for them, being here in the stadium for 4 or 5 hours. It's easier to win the golden boots when you play for France and Argentina, but we'll try to give Erling more games and more help also in the next games. So he's on fire, and I'm very happy for him that he can score on the biggest stage.
Absolutely. Coach of Norway saying, look, shout out to Haaland doing what he did on the world stage, got a brace in that 3-2 win over Senegal. And that puts so much meaning into the final group game against France, Norway versus France. How much fireworks can such a game give us?
On paper, it does look like a straight shootout for the leadership of the group between the two. But I don't think that either coach will be willing to risk the important players just so that they can finish tops. Obviously, they're not going to slow down or play under their potential. But at the same time, it's not a matter of life and death. Obviously, France is the better team, the better pedigree, better quality of players, have shown, you know, more ruthlessness. They probably or arguably have the best attack in world football at the moment. If you consider Mbappe surrounded by Dembele, by Doué, by Bakola, there's Olise behind as well. It's almost like the best attacking players in world football are French. So on that basis, you expect the French to have the advantage, to have the edge, but you don't want a game in which it's a basketball game. It stretches you, and then by the time you get to the knockout round, you have injuries to contend with, you have suspensions to contend with. So I don't foresee that game being anticlimactic, but I also don't expect it to have the feel of a cup final. The guys will do what they can. The Haalands, the Odegaards will put their full array of talent and skill on display. It should be a good watch, but it's not a do or die. The most important thing is to progress. It doesn't really matter whether you're first or second. It might determine the quality of opposition you draw in the next round. But even if you draw a supposedly weak opposition, you're better off with your strongest players being available, not injured, not suspended. So I think that concentration would mean that we don't get a France-Norway kind of game if it were in a knockout scenario or if one of them risked elimination.
We'll see. Good talking points right there. Mario, let's go the way of Africa now. Before we look at the African teams, do you see Norway as a true underdog now with what they've done with 2 matches?
I've seen them as a dark horse in the World Cup with Japan, with Germany, with Austria, with a couple of others who will go very far. Bada said absolutely from a footballing perspective, but don't underestimate now the calculation on the easiest path to the World Cup, because obviously if you, for example, if Uruguay will beat Spain and Spain will be second in Group H, we will see in the first round of the knockout stage Argentina meeting Spain. So obviously these calculations in the tree to the final is now starting. And I think, to be honest, I think France, if you look into the round, if France ends up second in their group, which is Group I. They will play the second of Group E, which will be not Germany, but will be either Cote d'Ivoire or Ecuador or Curacao, but most likely Cote d'Ivoire. And then obviously it's an easier route for France to go to the semi-finals. So don't underestimate those calculations as well, because obviously Game 8 is the most important. Game 8 is the final, and there are many big guns who want to aim to the final.
It's been indeed a World Cup for African teams. Algeria did just enough to, get their first win. Egypt also gave us some flying performance. You think they can do just enough to make it to the next round?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no problem. I think so. I don't know how many African teams will, get to the next round, but if 3 teams will, in 8 groups, 3 teams are going to qualify. So I have a feeling maybe the likes of Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire, who knows, maybe Senegal will make it to. I don't see Tunisia doing that with 2 losses already. But I still feel that, I don't know. I don't know why I still feel some of the teams you expect. Maybe I'll wait till I see Morocco's second game before I say what I'm about to say. I've not really seen any of those teams that, I thought could mix it with the big boys and, stay on their level. I'm yet to see an African team like that. Maybe they'll try to use other strategies. I saw Senegal go toe-to-toe with France. It backfired at some stage. Maybe African teams start looking for other ways of winning team. Maybe not necessarily the Curacao way. Maybe not necessarily the Cape Verde way, but just find ways of doing it and getting the job done. But let me just throw in something for Bada before I yield back to you. Cristiano Ronaldo, you referenced. Maybe it was you or Leo. You referenced the opposition and of course talked about him saying to the camera and back. Do you think the floodgates is open for Cristiano now, or as some will say, maybe it's just because of the quality of the opposition?
I think it might be a bit of both. There's no doubt in the fact that even when he's clearly not as sharp as he used to be, not as prolific as he used to be, it's still Cristiano Ronaldo. If you create chances for him, he will score. And today, it was chance after chance because the opposition didn't offer anything for Portugal to think about on the defensive side of the game. The game was perpetually played in and around the box of the Uzbekistani, and Ronaldo had a couple of good chances and put 2 of them away. So on the whole, great performance, but of course, the quality of the opposition has to be put in context. When they played the game against Congo DR, the Congolese had a solid defensive structure. They were very efficient. They were very disciplined. They made it difficult for Portugal to pass in between the lines, to create those overloads, to create chances. But Uzbekistan did nothing of that sort today. Matter of factly, if Portugal needed to score 10 to stay in the competition today, they could jolly well have done that. That's how poor Uzbekistan was. But what does this do for Ronaldo from a confidence level? Obviously, after that first game, he was under fire. Criticized across the board for holding back the Portuguese team, for not tracking back, for not earning his starting place, for denying younger, hungrier players the opportunity to play. All manner of allegations have been leveled against him and Roberto Martinez. So today was redemption. He's proved some of his doubters wrong. He said it to the camera. He's back, meaning that he himself considers that people may have been right in some way because he failed to score in the first game. So when you say I'm back, it means you consider yourself to have left something or to have left somewhere. So he felt some of that pressure, and he must have felt relief as well to have scored those 2 goals. So whether or not he kicks on from there in the next game, we'll have to wait and see. But Goal scoring is what Ronaldo has thrived on all through his career. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't try to pretend about it. The only reason he steps on the field is to score goals.
Yeah.
And he did that twice today. So,
all right. Okay, let me just throw in one at Leo as well. A lot of people saying, oh, Ronaldo is holding back the Portuguese team. They should allow younger players. But the question a lot of people have not answered, which player is currently better? Which player would you play ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo in that team? Goncalo Ramos readily comes to mind, sitting on the bench in PSG. The other young man who used to be at Atletico now playing in Saudi. So do you think that argument really holds any water if there's anybody that, thinking if there's anybody in that Portuguese team that probably would do better than Cristiano Ronaldo leading the line?
Yeah, I don't think there is. Obviously, Roberto Martinez would probably go otherwise in that respect. And you can see obviously that some teams need these leaderships. Obviously, there is rivalry. That's why the coach today, Roberto Martinez, Didier Deschamps, and all the coaches, they don't need to improve the skills of the players. Yeah? They need to manage the 15 players who are not on the pitch, because obviously the dressing room needs to be united in a World Cup. Because if the dressing room is unsettled, if the dressing room is not confident, if the dressing room is not focused and target driven or objective driven to the matches, then obviously we see exactly what Bada was saying with Senegal. Yeah, completely depleted, distracted area, not focused, not aligned in all their activities, because obviously that's what the big nations do. That's why you don't see, let's say, public trouble about Cristiano Ronaldo. There is no discussion when or there's no response when media journalists ask Bruno Fernandes, Sean Neves in post-match interviews whether they would substitute Cristiano Ronaldo. They respect him because obviously they want peace and quietness inside the dressing room, because they have a dream. They have a joint dream that Portugal, who won the Nations League here in Europe, is their possible last chance with Cristiano Ronaldo as a farewell gift to go for the World Championship. And that's why they want to show unity. They don't want distractions. So why should I, as a pundit or an expert or as an analyst, kind of interpret now struggles into the Portuguese team? I don't think there are. I think all the men have sworn themselves in. It's a brotherhood inside the dressing room, and they're focused on their targets. And yes, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't look super fresh at all times anymore. But what you see obviously is Cristiano Ronaldo kind of is refusing to go off and be substituted. Yeah, while the big teams are already kind of putting the energy levels back and kind of substitute. Just look at Germany or so. Usually after 65, 70 minutes, when they are lead by 2 goals, they swap 3-4 players because you want to avoid injuries at this point in time. If you want to go match 5, 6, 7, 8, then you have to have all men's on deck and fresh legs on deck. And that's why Bada is totally right. Yeah, the substitute bench of France is outstanding. That gives them on paper and currently from the first 2 matches all the right reasons to be one of the in-form favorites, not paper favorites, but in-form favorites as well for the World Cup, because they show the resilience, they show the strength, and then they swap around. So I think Portugal has a dream, like I said, and I think every player, all the 25 others except Cristiano Ronaldo, if they make Cristiano Ronaldo in his last World Championship the world champion, they're gonna be heroes forever. I think Ronaldo will pay everyone at least 2, 3, 4 million himself, a bonus to each of the player, because that's the dream he has. Yeah, he wants, at the age of 41, he wants to make that big impact.
Okay, I'm very sure Austin is busy watching England and Ghana, and so. Let's let it out in the open. What's the situation report?
37 minutes already gone. It's still goalless, but I tell you, it's been one-way traffic. The English team controlling the game. The Ghanaians, I wonder how long they're going to hold on to this. America's been running, trying to get the ball, but he's not getting to it. I think if England does enough with their offensive play, they will take the lead into the break. Ghana, they're fighting so hard. to see how they can avoid that. But England enjoying 86% of the ball possession. That's complete dominance right there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. If you watch Ghana's first game, they were very underwhelming. There was their play. One of the characteristic features of Ghanaian football is what earned them the sobriquet, the Brazil of Africa. Intricate one-touch passing, quick movement, players who can run with the ball, players who've got a lot of ability to take their man on, beat their man, players who can shoot from distance accurately. That's how we've come to enjoy Ghanaian football over the years. But this Ghanaian is lacking in those key ingredients. Semenyo looks like the only man who, if he gets put in good position, can maybe beat his man and score a goal. But you don't even see the players around him making the right decision. You don't know what sort of system they're trying to play. Are they trying to build from the back? Are they trying to go long? What exactly are they trying to do? You don't understand it. Matter of factly, let me confess here, I had planned to go watch this game in Boston. I would have taken a 4-hour train to go from New York to Boston to watch it. But after I saw their first game, I said, I'm not going to put myself through that and then suffer watching them for 90 minutes, getting even the run around by the opposition, because I knew the English were going to come on top of them and try to dominate and try to score goals. And there was only going to be, I mean, it's a question of, could something have changed so drastically from the last performance of the Ghanaians between then and now to mean that the outcome of the game will be any different from what you are witnessing now? And the question realistically is no, because you have players like Mohamed Kudus, who's missing, a big miss for them in this competition, because if you have two players in the most important part of the pitch, the final third, like Semenyo and Kudus, who got pace, who can break on the opposition and who can make the right decisions, it gives the opposition one or two things to think about, and so they don't commit fully. That their defensive line can't push so high up in pinning you into it, because they know that if you get the ball, just one long ball to either of those guys, they could be in trouble. But if it's just one man, the threat is easier to nullify. So I don't know what Ghana can do differently, but they've been underwhelming, and they've been very lucky to avoid a defeat against England.
I know, because I looked at the first match. It was Panama. No disrespect to Panama, but you'd expect them to do just enough, knowing that your next game is against a decent English team, just to put some fear. By the way, Mario, in 1 minute, you have more whips to put on the back of Ghana?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to both of you, and you're absolutely right. And maybe I think that England and Ghana will have an entertaining one-way match, but it will end up 0-0, because then both teams have 4 points, which adds pressure to Croatia and means that Ghana is in the second round. But I'm also not convinced, and I'm not happy with the playing style. I mean, it's when you look at Cote d'Ivoire, when you look at Morocco, who show courage on the pitch. I don't see courage from Ghana at this moment in time. I see courage from Semenyo, but obviously after 25-30 minutes in a match, and especially against the big guns like England, he's doubled, sometimes even tripled by defenders, or surrounded by opponent players, and he can't unleash his space and speed, and then it's a deadlock. Yeah, then Ghana is really kind of playing with each other, but not aiming for goals, because it seems like they have no clues of going forward and anticipate goals. And sometimes I think I mentioned that last week, Austin, if you remember. I think sometimes I think that African teams are showing a little bit too much respect. They need to put their heart on the pitch. They need to have the courage. They need to have an attitude. The performance, the sporting capabilities, the talent is all with the African national teams. But sometimes I think the respect is far too high. Then just really bring out the courage and the anticipation and pressure the opponents. Cote d'Ivoire did it brilliantly against Germany, and for me they deserve the draw from that match. But they should take away everything for match 3, because for me, like I said, Cote d'Ivoire so far has been the best sub-Saharan team in the tournament from a sporting perspective, and I think they will definitely make their way in the World Cup.
Oh, we'll see. Another team for me that has shown a bit of drive in their play is Morocco. You could see it in their first game against Brazil, and against Scotland they showed good character. Scoring that early goal and going on to win it, was a good one. One thing that I also think can get us talking, Congo DR. They were really decent in their first game, and now they've got Colombia. Colombia also a very good team. They're getting ready for that crucial clash early morning in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Let's listen to some talking points ahead of that match.
I would like to say that we're well prepared. We've had a good preparation. Our travels have been nice and easy, so I'm sure we'll be very much ready for the game tomorrow. We can't wait, and it'll be a good one. Hi. I'd like to say obviously it's been there for everyone to see how well united we are as a team. I would like to say we are a team first. That is hard to beat, a team that's hard to come through, and I think it's evident as well in our game against Portugal that it was very aggressive on the transition, and we're a threat going forward, but we also are a very difficult team to beat defensively. I'd like to say we're a united team. We defend well, and we have players who are capable of making something out of nothing in the attack, and so we're always a danger going forward, and I think for our games in the past you've seen that we're a well united team that we defend as a collective.
Absolutely, and that's really important, defend as a collective, attack as a collective, and that's football, that's teamwork. Unfortunately, Bada and Mario, this is where we'll say good night for tonight. Thank you so much, Bada, for your time on the show.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's
awesome.
Also talking about the football, FIFA World Cup.
All right, Mario, thank you so much. I know you wanted to say something about Congo DR. We'll do it again some other time. Thank you.
No problem at all. It's a great pleasure to be on the show, Austin. Have a great evening, a great remainder of the show, and greetings to Nigeria and to London.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mario. As results from Germany. Yemi, I don't know if we've got some time, but with the way you've seen that group, can Scotland stun Brazil?
It's possible. I'll give you my thoughts. Let's just put an end to this segment.
Yeah.
I'll come back to wrap things up. Well, to your question, Austin, as we go, Brazil has not earned my respect at the World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti has made some decisions, and I'm beginning to wonder if it is the same Don Carlo that I know. I'm seeing Paqueta playing on the right. I'm seeing Rafinha playing behind the striker, and I'm not a coach, but I'm like, what's going on here? And those two players have struggled now. Rafinha is injured. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. As to whether they'll get something, I think they might, but I don't think they'll go as far as most people think they should.
Absolutely, and the Scots, they might just, I believe push, but it's difficult. But we've seen stranger things in football. This is football where anything can happen. Who would have thought Cape Verde would get the world talking the way they've done so far at the World Cup? So we'll wait to see if Scotland can do it. Yeah, I totally agree with you, the Brazilian team. But maybe this is all shenanigans to, confuse your opponents. Football has gone to a level now where coaches might just, turn things around just so you don't know their tactics and strategies.
Awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, let's wrap up the show this way. Quick updates from the game between England and Ghana. We're approaching halftime. I think this is what Ghana wanted to do, try and hold the game, Yemi, as much as they can, before halftime. But I don't think they will have what it takes in second half when the likes of Marcus Rashford or even Eberichi Eze comes in with so much offensive play. Who knows? But hey, it's football, anything can happen. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonak. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
It's Rapi in Lagos as well. I want to thank you for allowing us into your homes without knocking on the door. It's a privilege we will never take for granted. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.